What you got for us? You got
Yas! You ever hear four gay dudes try to out-yas each other?
Oh my God.
Yas, yas, yas!
I love this energy.
Yas!
Party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. Hey, got it. There you go, there you go. Hey, if y'all ready for the next interview, let me hear you say hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, coming to the stage. Y'all start clapping right now. Give it up, give it up, give it up for Donnell Rawlings.
Bought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt.
Yo, you got it. That's it. Yeah, they're gonna say what's up to the ladies.
What's going on, ladies? How's it going? What's going on, y'all? Hold on, how you doing? Good. All right. This is the most expensive party I've ever been to. Everybody working? You got to pay everybody, son?
Pay everybody. No intention.
Somebody about to quit. Somebody about to quit their job.
Yeah, word. So Donnell, man, thank you for coming to
Let
party.
it be him, the one with the little ass camera right there. He don't have no job no more, son.
Come on, bro. Nigga, you're fired. It's over just like that.
Yeah, he got a camera. You still put your thumb and squish it on the side.
That's a problem.
Yes, that's a problem.
You trying to blend in here and stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Yo, alcohol in here.
It's a lot of
You
party.
want some? You want some? Oh, wait, no, we got
Every time I drink alcohol, I wind up being on TMZ. I'm a pass.
Matter of fact, speaking of being on TMZ, last time I was watching TMZ with you, you had beat up a dude in, was it DC or something? What happened, bro?
I don't say beat up anybody. On the respect of my lawyer, it was a verbal confrontation which ended in a light affray of punches.
I like that. I like that one.
And I thought I was in imminent danger. For all you brothers out here don't know how to stay out of trouble, just tell them you felt you was in imminent danger. You could beat any case. Just be in imminent danger.
Hold on, wait. What does imminent mean? What does imminent
danger mean? You think somebody gonna hit you, so you can hit them before they hit you.
Okay.
Like I feel like I was in imminent danger. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you're doing.
I just want to be clear.
Because I almost swung on you just now.
Yeah, there you go. Imminent danger.
So,
Cello.
Dave Chappelle, Radio City.
Yes.
Are you involved in that?
Yeah, Dave Chappelle did a historical residency at Radio City Music Hall for almost the entire month of August, 15 shows. Out of 15 shows, I'm performing on 10 of those shows. I've already worked with The Roots, I worked with Kendrick, I worked with Chance the Rapper. I'm getting ready to do a show with Most Black Star. And we have a lot of Trevor Noah performed.
Trevor Noah,
Arsenio Hall performed, Will Silver performed, Marlon Wayans performed, and Donnell Rawlings, a.k.a. Ashley Lurie, not only performed, but been tearing that shit down
and
every
ending
night.
the show by saying, I'm rich, bitch.
Well, I do say that, but that phrase has got me in trouble because when I go to dinner with my friends now
they think you're rich.
When the check comes, nobody goes for their wallet. And the first they say, I thought you was rich, bitch. So it's a gift and a curse, but I've been enjoying it and embracing it. Everything that show's done for me, I've been excited about it, and it's been all good.
I think that's dope.
Hey, you know what, man, Donnell, me and Charlamagne was talking at Source 360 last weekend.
Okay.
And we both agreed together, like, Donnell Rawlings is one of the most underrated comedians out. Do you ever feel underrated?
Well, see, I don't think underrated. That's a different people's perception. For the people that know me, they don't think I'm underrated. For the people that root for me, they would say underrated because I may not get all the accolades everybody get. But like you notice, like Charlamagne knows, that anybody been following my career for 20 years, I've been bringing heat for a long time. So I don't consider it underrated. It's like I haven't had that platform where the entire world gets to see me at one time, but I'm building toward it and it's gonna happen.
Does it get on your nerves when people like, yo, I remember when you first got on Chappelle and everything, that's when things had set it off for you. But what they don't know, you was doing Comic View way in the past
before
and some more shit. Does that get on your nerves?
It don't get on my nerve because I was a part of a show that is gonna go down to be one of the greatest sketch shows of all time.
Yes.
So when people come up to me like, yeah, he fell off since Chappelle's show, you don't get a Chappelle show every 2 years or every 2 years. Every couple of decades you get that. So they compare me to something that's already great, you know what I'm saying? And until I find a mark somewhere else, I'll continue to be consistent. It's a long race. You got the tortoise and the hare. I'm the tortoise, but my pace is steady. You know what I'm saying? It's just not quick. Ladies, y'all understand. What would you rather have? A strong, steady pace or bam, bam, bam?
Oh no.
It depends on
All right, mix it up. All right, mix it up. Mix it up. Shift gears. Shift gears.
I can't answer
All right,
that.
shift gears.
Yeah,
Shift gears.
I can't answer that.
All right.
However, I will say this. I fucking love Ashley Larry. Okay? One of the funniest parts of Dave Chappelle.
It's funny because everybody's like, do I get tired of people calling me Ashley Larry? And I was Ashley before Chappelle's show. And when Dave asked me, he said, Donnell, what are you going to do to prepare for this role? I said, I'm going to take a shower.
Cocoa butter.
And just wait 10 minutes. I'm going to be the ashiest nigga on set. And that's what happened. Ash
They
like
prepping you.
It's real.
So you didn't use any fucking moisturizer while you were filming all that?
No, it wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been ashy being cocoa butter.
I thought you added flour.
No. That was real. That was
Oh,
real.
God.
That was straight.
Real ash.
That was straight off of a public swimming pool experience. And you know, public swimming pool ash is the worst ash you ever gonna experience in your life.
Mish.
Why did he give you the old ass mic? No, I'm just.
They gotta give it to you. They gotta give it to
That was the Mike Ray Charles
You get the
thing
good
on.
shit.
I got a woman.
Hey, he didn't know what it was. What's
So I
going on?
know that you were in the Air Force back in the day.
Yeah.
So what are some of the qualities that you took with you other than speaking a different language?
NUICO, they got young them. That's me saying I'm Donnell Rawlings. They got young them. They got so out of so. That's me saying I'm smart. Like I was stationed in Kunsan, Korea, part of the Air Force. I speak Korean, not fluently, but a conversation level. But I think the experiences I got when I went into the military, I was fresh out of high school with no direction. So it was a transition, like it is for a lot of black folks. If you're not gonna go to college, if you don't have a job, you go to the military. But it taught me a lot of culture. Got to meet some new people, and it was the first time I was ever on an airplane was when I went into basic training. So I think it made me more of a worldly person. The Air Force did for me.
My name is B.
What's up, man?
Hi. So I wanted to know, who do you run to for advice as far as if things are getting dry in the sense of it's advancing now in the field? Yes. So
Well, I don't run to anybody for anything.
Okay.
But the spirit or the thing I would run to, it would be God when I feel like I'm in a
Definitely.
place where
Definitely.
I need some help, or if I'm having a creative block. Huh?
You go to church?
Son, I go on Sunday, son.
Get out of here.
You know, but that's where I get my inspiration. If I get writer's block, I just try to tune in
That's what I was gonna
to
ask,
my
okay.
spirit, and then it opens you up to come up with creative stuff. And
Right.
one of the things that do block you at times is negative energy. A lot of times, if you're around negative energy, you can't be creative because it stifles that creative process. So, most important thing I can say to anybody who's watching this: continue to put yourself around positive people, and if you put yourself around positive people, it will draw positive results.
Definitely.
I'm
What's
Kay.
up? Nice to meet you.
So I have a multi-part question. Okay. First, do you ever feel like the personality of your character, Ashley Larry, eclipses your talent? That's number one.
No.
Two. Okay. Number two, being from Virginia, how do the Nazi attacks in Charlottesville make you feel? And do you ever feel guilty for having a character like Ashley Larry amidst racial tension?
No, because for you to ask that question, you looking at Ashley as something negative. Everybody, I call it the rags to riches. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Every brother at some point has had an ashy time in their life. You know what I'm saying? When they want to be moisturized, they want to go from ashy to classy. So I never get upset, and I've really been an ashy dude my entire life. When that character was on paper, he wasn't ashy. He was just a dude with boxers. But when I was younger, I used to shoot dice a lot, and my mother could tell because my knees would be ashy from being on the ground, and that's how she would keep me. But the answer to the second part of the things that's going on in Charlottesville, I don't think my character Ashley Larry in the Chappelle Show doesn't represent a black person. It represents somebody that's challenged, and my heart goes out to anybody that's dealing with anything from Charlotte. And the fucked up thing about this, that situation puts things in perspective in terms of what type of world we living in. We living in a negative world. We live in a nasty world, and as tragic as that incident was, sometimes you need to see some ugly things before you know what's going on, and things become clear to you, and you know how to respond to that.
Thank you.
Lady 380.
Hey, what's up? I'm
What's up?
80. You are really well spoken. Like
Thank
you know the Dave Chappelle
That was
skit. You know, wait.
He should take
You know how the
that.
Dave You know the Dave
Nigga, we didn't know you had no sense, nigga.
Look, you see? And
That was
you know
racist,
the
like-
Dave Chappelle skit.
Oh, well, on some real
where
shit, on some
Little
real
John
shit?
That's
is
what you
like-
wanted from me.
Yeah, and it's like I really
What?
appreciate. Okay.
What? Who said I wasn't gonna be on Bad
And I
Bougie?
can say I appreciate that.
Thank
But going back to being around positive people, what is the one thing that you can remember maybe Dave Chappelle shared with you?
One thing I will say Dave Chappelle shared with me, and this is not me being cocky, I think I'm a talented person. And sometimes when you work with certain people, they feel threatened by that. They don't let you shine. You know what I'm saying? You do something funny on set, they're going to chop it down. Or if something is about to blow up and they're like, nah, I don't want to do that. Dave always trusted my comedic sensibility. And the thing that I learned from Dave, and it's a phrase that we use in DC a lot, go hard or go home. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly think now, pound for pound, me and Dave Chappelle stand beside each other. It's not too many people that can fuck with us.
He goes hard. He goes harder than the paint because, boy, he has some really controversial jokes.
He has some good stuff.
That
but
if you did not have a good sense of humor, you would not appreciate it.
Right.
He always offends some. Not me. I don't give a fuck. I laugh at everything. If your mama fall, I'm laughing. He definitely knows how to crack a joke that can be highly offensive. I mean, literally.
Yeah, but the state we was in, we was talking about that Radio City Music all the day. You know, with stand-up now, and it's like people are so sensitive that comics are becoming pussies now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like pussy ass comedians.
It's hard.
I did notice that.
And then the world we live in, everybody is so sensitive. Like, first off, a stand-up comedian's job is not for his thoughts to be parallel with yours. It's for you to ride with his thoughts.
That's right.
And you're listening to him. So if you go to a comedy club with the notion that I don't want him to talk about this person, that person, you shouldn't go to a comedy club. It's our voice.
He was chain smoking and going in. I was like, oh man, this is getting serious.
Hey, so Donnell, you just made a really good point right there. There's a lot of new pussy ass comedians.
Right.
And when you say that, we just lost Dick Gregory.
Right.
Now, I was talking to another comedian just recently. It's not any comedians today that be standing up and whatnot and doing activism like a
But this is what I'll say
all the time.
I'll add to this because people always. I look at Dave Chappelle. I'm on tour with him, and not in no competition. But you look at somebody that's great, and you like, what separates them from the next comic or the next person? And I contribute to, I call it a Muhammad Ali moment. You know what I'm saying? Comics could be funny, but not often do you have a comic that has a Muhammad Ali moment where you got to put up like your moral beliefs, what you believe in, and you got to stand for something.
Right.
And you got to stand for something with the repercussions, meaning you might lose money.
That's right.
Or everything. When Muhammad Ali decided he wasn't going to go to the fight in the Vietnam War because it was against his religious beliefs, he knew that he was at the top of his game. He knew he was about to lose millions of dollars. And with that said, he still decided he was going to take a stand for himself, for his race, and everybody. Dave Chappelle, when he walked away from $52 million, which a lot of people wouldn't have been able to done. I couldn't have walked away from that. I would have walked away for a couple thousand, but 52 million, I'm like, yo, let's talk about this nigga, hold on.
What you want me to do?
We can put one white person on the show.
But what I say in that instance, to me, that was a Muhammad Ali moment for Dave Chappelle, and that was one of the reasons why his fan base got so strong, because when you look at him as a good comic, you look at him as a person with virtue, morals, and integrity. And that's the reason why people love Dave Chappelle, and that's why they love the people that he associated with and who he's connected with.
And so we could also go even further and say that he had enough money to be able to walk away from it anyway.
Oh yeah,
he was $150 a ticket guy.
Yeah, he was already like before even. People don't understand Dave Chappelle has been making a lot of money for a long time.
For a long time.
And then when you're not an excessive person, when you're not on Instagram like, check me out this Ferrari, and the only thing you give a fuck is a skateboard and your kids eating, you're good to go. Your standards of living aren't that high. So for him to be able to walk away from it is different from somebody that's always got to be throwing money up in the club. You know what I'm saying? What did Jay-Z say? What's better than throwing money up in the club?
Credit. Hey, I'm Quinn.
Let's do it.
I'm Quinn Elizabeth. Pleasure meeting you.
What's up, babe?
So you're on the show Project Dad.
Yeah.
Talk about the show and also talk about like what it's like being a father at home yourself.
I'm on a show. It's not running now, but it was on TLC where they took It was on TLC where they took 3 celebrity dads and then leave them with their kids for 48 to 84 hours at a time by themselves with no help from mom, just to see what's going to happen. And at the time, my son was nursing, so I was good until he wanted that breast milk. And I'm going to tell you, nothing compete with breast milk. Nothing. I tried Cheetos. I tried old French fries. Nothing can compete with it 10 times. But I will say, being a dad, especially later on in life for me, You know, I've produced a lot of things. I've done a lot of things, and people always ask the question when you talk to people, it's like, "Yo, man, having a baby is going to be the greatest thing you ever experienced." And my response to them is, "Have you ever had a biracial menage a trois on an island?" I mean, my son is the greatest thing, but he didn't win by a landslide. He won the popular. He won the popular vote. He didn't win the electoral college, but yeah. But I love it. To answer your question short, I love being dads. The dopest thing I've ever done.
Toots, let's do it.
And I can't stand niggas that don't want to be dads in their kids' life. I think that I'm about to be an actor.
Give it up for that.
Real talk. You can't call yourself a real man if you're not doing everything to provide for your kid. And when I say provide for your kid, because there's a lot of brothers out here like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of my seed, but the happiness comes from how the mom treats that kid. So if you're gonna take care of that kid, you gotta take care. And people might not like what I'm about to say, but you gotta take care of that, where that household can be built strong, and there won't be no negative energy toward you and your seed.
So you basically saying you got to do something for the mama too. Make sure the mama's straight.
You can't. I'm saying like, just pay child support. I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not saying an extravagant lifetime, but understand this: if mom is happy and she feels good about herself and what she's doing for your kid, it just. I'm telling you, it comes together.
Be a friend.
Yeah.
Be a friend. All right.
I know y'all some niggas like, yo, fuck that, son.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Okay, so I did see you with your son in the hallway, and you guys are so cute. But I just want to know if you have any upcoming movie roles that are happening right now.
I mean, they say it's some type of myth of superstition to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like kind of like vain to talk about everything you're doing. What I will say is, you know, keep paying your cable bill, and eventually you'll see me on cable.
Rubio.
We over here.
Hey.
So, I would like to know, what's your greatest memory of working with Charlie Murphy?
My greatest memory of working with Charlie Murphy, and Dave kind of echoed this when we went to his memorial service. R.I.P. I love Charlie like a brother. He was one of the dopest guys I ever met.
Hilarious.
But at the funeral, Dave spoke, and he said to Charlie Murphy's kids, he said, "I want to explain something. This next sentence I'm going to say changed my life forever. When your father said, I fought Rick James on several occasions." And it was during a lunch break that we were talking about these stories that Charlie Murphy said that, and we was like, do tell. And that became the birth of Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Story. And I will say this, I love him, R.I.P., and I do a lot of interviews, and people say Charlie Murphy was young. He was only 57, I believe. In this world, it's obvious that we're born on a certain date, and in the middle we have a dash. Everybody knows that dash. Then you have your expiration point. And at the end of the day is, what do you do in your dash? We all get a dash, and how hard do you go for your dash? No sense of living to 100 and you've never been off your porch, you've been drinking sweet tea for 95 years. You don't have a passport, you haven't experienced anything in life. So with that said, to everybody's listening right now, most important thing in life, work and do your dash and go as hard as you can within that period.
Y'all give it up for one more time. Give it up.